What is going on, everyone? My name is Boit, and I am back with some more Age of Mythology, the Titans action, spawning on the left side of the map in the blue color, playing as Isis from the DoD clan. His name is Joe. On the right side of the map in the red color, playing as Oranos. His name is More. The map is Midgard. It's currently 1-0 for More Champion, taking games off Joe like they're nothing. It's a new game, it's a new day, it's a new life. So anything can happen, hey. This is a really interesting matchup, Oranos versus Isis on Midgard, simply because the water doesn't really matter all too much here. You can see all gold mines are forward. You never get a back gold mine on this map, and they get spread out fairly equally along the side of the map. You can see how they're positioned and see the fact that there is definitely ways in which you can cut your opponents off gold very, very fast in the game. And this home gold mines also can be an issue. Check out this gold mine. There is no watchtowers around it. It's going to be really difficult for Joe to defend that if Moore decides to do some sort of land rush against him. But it's not really meta to be doing those land attacks on Midgard as Oranos until a little bit later in the game. So we'll see what he does try and do there. Fishing ships coming out for Joe. He's got that 4 villagers on Granary. Use Pharaoh over onto wood, get the extra wood income so you can produce more fishing ships is the general idea there. Got that second dock coming up just a little bit early. I think Joe's trying to save villager walking time by doing this, but I think it's actually better to try and get 3 villagers over to wood before you build this one, and then you chuck the next villager up here. And you end up getting squeezing out just a little bit more fishing ships. It's not a huge deal. Like, doing this is fine, but it's just like it's just the little things that you can just improve your game just that little bit. And we just see 4 villagers on wood for Joe here. That's interesting. On Midgard, you can pop 5 or 6 villagers on wood and then just fill up this fish. There is actually so much fish on here, so it's like you can get 20 fishing ships in the classical age in advance very, very fast, like 5 minutes and 5:15 or something, and get like 20 fishing ships. But that seems to be not the vibe here, with only 4 villagers on the wood line. That's going to be like 1.5 ships every 15 seconds or so. So we'll see if that comes into play or not. With Joe's food income. More on the other hand, he's got his standard. He's just playing standard. 2 villagers wood, the rest food, and he's gonna get out 6 fishing ships and then throw down a temple. I think, is that how it works, or does he keep going on fishing ships? More than 6 fishing ships. You need to get that temple down if you want to go up, and you could throw it down maybe around 50% on this villager coming out here, but you don't want to overdo the fishing ships, because then you get population blocked, because you need to get the extra house up in the temple, which means you have to bash some of that gold mine. So we have seen the last fishing ship. So let's just count fishing ships here. He's got 6, 7, 8 fishing ships. So he gets those 8 out, and then he throws down the temple. You can put the ordering any which way you want. But it looks like more value is getting those fishing ships out first, which does make sense. So it's 8 fishing ships and then a temple if you want to be learning some water build orders as Atlantean. Easy 3:30 advance time, just a little bit late because you had a little bit of the idle production. You have to have like a close fishing spot and then dump your fishing ships when you're doing this build order in order to maintain the village production. And his wood and gold situation is 2 villages, 4 villages wood, 3 villages gold. I'm assuming he's going to throw down a economic guild, get up another house, and then throw down a dock somewhere, but we're not seeing that dock anywhere just yet. We do have a nice scout of Joe's base, and Moore does see this gold mine is super exposed. There's no watchtower around here, and he sees that, and he's going to see the watchtower spawn over here as well once this Oracle Scout comes down. Got a wooden wall coming in, but this isn't going to help all too much. Doesn't matter how many wooden walls you throw up here. Terma can still just come in here and threaten this gold mine. There's not going to be a lot that Joe can do about that unless he builds his own stuff. So he's going to have to get some stuff out. So we'll see what Moore does. He still hasn't got the second dock up. So it looks like he's still producing fishing ships though. So I'm interested in where he's going with this. Looks like counter barracks is going up and a military barracks. So he's going to be getting out some of those land units in order to put pressure onto onto Joe here. What's Joe doing? Joe going through Bast. Hasn't really spotted the, hasn't really done much scouting with this priest. I like when I'm playing Isis on this map to try and throw down my obelisks as I'm going to the classical age and just like queue them up, make sure I put some obelisks around the entire map so I can see my opponent's army movements, and then I can react just a little bit faster. It's worth the gold investment, and you're always just sitting a little bit above on the gold anyways. We are seeing a lot of villagers on wood right now for Joe, and not that many on gold, so he's not going for a fast 2-town center, and it doesn't look like he's going for a fast heroic either, because you want to be chucking these villagers over onto food just to get that food income a little bit faster. So just going to stay in the classical age. Interested to see what happens there. Moore has not really shown his cards just yet, which I do like. He has delayed this attack. He's pumping out these units. He's putting down the second dock a little bit later. I like the change up there. This is going to be able to protect Moore's fishing ships very, very nicely here. And he's throwing down a second town center. Moore's doing quite a lot of stuff here. Sometimes this works, but when you commit to so much, you are sacrificing on stuff. So we are going to see this Promethean having a little bit of a tiff with the Sphinx, and he's going to come out below. He's not going to be able to get away from this. There is a Murmillo coming in. Unfortunately, he does block the Promethean. We're going to be using a Shockwave up there, but I don't think they're going to be able to surround this Sphinx, and he's going to be able to get out of there. With his, he's not. Joe's not microing the Sphinx. He could have got out of there with his life there, but that's unfortunate there. And Joe has now seen the units are here, and we are seeing a watchtower getting thrown down for Joe. So that's going to be able to, he's going to be able to defend this now, and we do see Moore has seen this as well. So that's going to be fine. Joe Moore forcing out the watchtower there. We haven't really seen any. We haven't really seen any Bareems coming out. I always seen the Bareems coming out, and Moore's got 13 fishing ships right now, which is quite good considering his fast advance time. Just building up a little bit later, it's not something you've really considered doing as Atlantean. You normally consider just going to attack really, really early. We're seeing a little bit of engagement over here. We've got a little bit of a raid on here. The Watchtower is going to kick them away. The cabinets are a little bit stronger than the Bareems, so 2 Bareems versus 2 cabinets. The cabinets will take that one in a straight up fight with no micro, but now the 3's here. That's going to force Joe out of here. And now we've got Bareems over onto Joe's fish up here as well. Going to be trying to harass that a little bit, get his army to take down some of these docks. He's no longer producing any of these military units either, which is a little bit strange. He's also picked up arrows of the Alpha. There is this relic over here, Osberg Wagon, is a very important relic for both players, but we aren't seeing that one getting grabbed just yet. Cabinet having to get out of there as well, and we are going to be seeing this location looks like it's going to be going down fairly quickly. So Moore controlling the pace of the game fairly well so far. He's on 2 town centers. Joe is going through to the heroic age, so he's going to have that armory coming up, and he's got the 800 food in the bank. It's going to be an 850 heroic age, or just after that. So he's got the option of casting Ancestors Eclipse to delay some economy. These citizens, you can't really pick off any citizens with Ancestors Eclipse because they can just jump into the sentry towers and the Ancestors don't really kill them off very fast. But you do get access to Leviathan and a lot of other stuff. We are seeing a cabinet just popping out here. Going to be trying to pick off some of these Murmillos, and it looks like Moore's not quite paying attention to this one yet. Going to be taking a little bit of free damage onto those units there as the cabinet gets picked off. And this is actually we may actually pick off that Hero Murmillo, which is a little bit important there. We are seeing the cabinets fighting over on this location. It looks like that Moore's going to be having to retreat here, but so is Joe, not wanting to chase just yet. And still no second town center coming up for Joe. Yeah, he has finished this gold mine though. And this town center and this town center are able to be claimed, but neither really secure a gold mine. And now we do have Moore has spotted this as well, and he's pumping out the Terminal. If I was Moore, I would stop fighting on the water completely. Stop building these Bareems. Only be building these things. Try and get my 3rd town center up, and then we just want to force an Ancestors Eclipse right here. Excuse me, I am just dying. It's going to be fine. Medium Terma and the Murmillo are going to get pushed away there. We've got 5 priests here, and there's just not enough army. The army was up here trying to push up that dock. Now we have a lot of idle military sitting here. So this is a little bit of the overcommitment to the water here from more, but he is pumping out fishing ships still and trying to get the maximum amount of food he can from this water. And we are seeing a little bit of a fight here, and more deciding he wants to leave it a little bit. But I think he probably should be fighting. Got 9 Bareems to 9 cabinets, and with the micro, you may be able to come out on top of that one, produce another Bareem and have a lead advantage there. Seeing more military barracks and counter barracks coming up, and now we've got the War Elephant coming out and Siege Workshop. War Elephants for a classical age Atlantean is really difficult to fight against. We do have the Valor does come down. Ancestors Eclipse comes down as well. Scorpion Man trying to get out of there. He's going to be able to survive for a little bit longer, taking that harass from the Terma. The Ancestors Eclipse coming out though. Going to do a lot of damage to a lot of this army, and we are going to see the Scorpion Man does fall. These villagers can simply just jump into the town center if they want, and we do have the siege works up for Joe, and he's getting out those siege towers, so we can start pushing through with that. We're seeing these Bareem chasing around fishing ships, trying to be a little bit of a nuisance there, but not going to be able to do all too much. We're going to see these ancestors are going to be getting picked off quite well there, with all of these hero units here, all the Murmillos and the Termas able to pick off those units very, very fast. Now we're seeing the siege tower coming in, going to try and take down the counter barracks. So we do have a citizen here who can really do some damage onto this siege tower, which more does recognize. See how much damage he does to that siege tower just with that little dagger, able to dismantle that siege tower super fast. But more War Elephants are coming out at this point. Going to be able to soak up so much damage from those Terma. And where is more going with this? He's not close to the next stage. He doesn't have a gold mine secured. He can come over onto this gold mine and this gold mine, but he doesn't know about this one. You can guess that it's there though, because you've seen 1, 2, 3, 4 gold mines here, and only 3 gold mines you've seen of your own. So you can guess that it's in that black area. It's a bit of a guess. It could be down the bottom as well, but I'm assuming that Moore probably knows about that gold mine. We are seeing that there's so many citizens here. You can't just simply take these guys off the wood, off the gold, and then move them over onto this gold, like wood villages over onto that gold. But Moore's got like 5 villages on wood only, so I guess he's just really after the gold. What's his economy situation going? He's only got a pickaxe, which is really going to hurt him. He's got all the villages pumping out, but only pickaxe. He needs to start upgrading those economic upgrades if he wants to get any serious defense going for this, because you just can't afford that many units at this point. We are seeing the elephants chasing away these citizens. The siege towers managed to take down some of those military buildings there. That's going to allow this gold mine to be completely subject to harassment. We're seeing some chariot archers getting pumped now for Joe. Must not be able to afford the spam. Now getting out axemen as well as cavalry and the sea shark. He's floating some resources he could do with some more military buildings, perhaps another barracks, in order to pump out some more units right now. If he was full population right here, he would be able to cut this gold mine, and he does have the resources to be at full population if he was pumping a little bit better. He's spamming villages from 2 town centers though, so he's going to get even more resources, but still no next barracks going up. Still pumping out the priests and the elephant and everything else as well, and it looks like some of these Prometheans coming in as well. We don't have funeral rites or Hands of the Pharaoh, so these priests aren't that strong at this point, but are going to be enough to pick off those weak Prometheans. The water fights are still going on. It's just a little bits of harassment right here. Looks like Moore's given up on the water because he feels like he doesn't need it. Maybe there's full population in villages at this point. No, he's still producing villages, but he'll be full population on villages fairly soon. We've got the catapults out. They can counter those war elephants really, really nicely. Check this out. They've got 200% bonus against cavalry, which war elephants are considered a cavalry unit, so catapults are a good counter to that. However, they do die very, very fast to axemen. So we'll see if that comes into play. Joe still not getting up any more barracks here is very, very surprising. He's still pumping the villages. He hasn't got this town center yet, which he should be thinking about grabbing, especially because he's very close to full population here. Or he should just be like bashing headfirst into this Oranos army and trying to take it out. But unfortunately, it's just not happening just yet. Got the chariot archers and everything else just sitting in their little buildings there, needing that stuff to happen. We see the Terma did go for a little bit of a raid there, but they need to come back as Joe is moving in here. They're going to be able to come in here and pick off all of these chariot archers, though, and that's going to be fairly big. We'll see if Moore does the split micro or he just tries to kill off one at a time. Looks like he's just overkilling just a little bit there. Definitely need to focus fire those chariot archers with maybe 4 and 4, and that way you pick them off very, very fast. And we're just seeing some hit and run here at the moment. Still having those raids on the water, stopping Moore's food income. But Moore's going through Thea at the moment, so he's going to be able to catch up onto that one. Catapult's going to take down those siege towers awfully fast, and now we've got the priest taking down all of the rest of the units here from Joe, but Joe has to retreat yet again because he just can't compete with this spam at this point. Sitting at 1,000 gold, he should really consider chucking some of those gold villagers over onto something else, or maybe spending some resources into mercenary just to use it up. Or he could chuck up a market and start trading that gold in for food and wood in order to produce some more units a little bit faster. Still only sitting on 3 military buildings with a full population of villagers. Look, he's got 30, 22, and 30. That's a lot of villagers, just to say the very least. And generally speaking, you want to have like a $1 town center for production, and then like 3 barracks as well, at least. And we are seeing the Terma being a little bit odd here, running straight through, and it looks like, oh, nice armory placement there, but the Terma are very, very slippery. They have fairly decent pathfinding, so they managed to avoid that situation there. I'm not sure why Moore decided to run through that location there. We could have just got to the same position he's in now just by going around. It must have been a misclick of some variety there. We are seeing a siege workshop and barracks coming up in the corner of the map here for Joe, just trying to secure little portions of the map while he can. We're seeing Joe move in yet again, trying to put that harassment onto Moore, and Moore going through Hecate right now. So he's actually coming very, very fast through the ages, but he currently doesn't have any gold income. He's still got 200 gold left on over here, and he hasn't checked out these gold mines just yet. Not using this one is very, very surprising. And I'm not sure why that is at this point. He's still max villagers. Here we go, villagers running over there now. Forgot one villager there that he needs to deal with. He's still got the fishing ship in this location here. I know I'm just having a little bit of a lull here. Joe does have the option of trying to get to the mythic age at this point. Does he have a market up just yet? Yeah, he's got his market up, and he's got a lot of the fish economy coming through, and he's transferring some villagers over to food at the moment. So he should be able to... Oh, he's going through Osiris. There we go. I was wondering why he hasn't. He's definitely got the economy to be advancing, and it's going to be coming through very, very fast in order to deal with the impending Hecate that's coming through. I'm super interested to see if Moore decides to just go for a Titan here. He doesn't really have a lot of options at this point to push Joe off his base, and even if he throws up these palaces and starts getting out destroyers, Joe should be able to defend against that fairly easily with the Stun of Osiris. So it may be worthwhile to just force Joe to start coming in and attacking him instead of going for this palace play. But it looks like he doesn't really have the resources just yet in order to get out the Titan. But he has made like good time to get to the Mythic Age. It's a little bit late considering normally you'd be in the Mythic Age a bit earlier on a land map, but we are seeing the Tartarian Gate gets thrown down using that Stymphalian bird there as a good use in order to get the line of sight into the base of Joe. And Joe's monument spread here is just not very good, and this is actually a really devastating location for the Tartarian Gate to come into, and that's going to allow Moore to get away with some stuff here, chucking up some palaces and going into that late game ish kind of style of the Atlantean that Moore likes, getting out the Arcus, Destroyers, and those Dryads in order to push through. Because Joe needs to respond to that with Axemen, and he's got the Axemen already, but Axemen get shredded by those medium Arcus. Also, this Lampade is huge. You can use it onto the Mummy and onto the War Elephants, and it just like really changes what's going on. So we'll see what happens here. Is he clicked on the Mummy? He has clicked on the Mummy, so he's going for it. And he is going to be able to... Oh, who wins? Wow, the Lampade actually wins that. The Mummy has the range advantage, but because the animation is so slow, he just can't get in there. I do see the Axemen though are going to be shredding these destroyers. It's like it's almost not worth it to have the destroyers out at this point. Maybe better would be of Contarius or something like that. But we're seeing more palaces coming out, fanatics coming through. So just sticking with those infantry units may not be the right move against all these Axemen, especially with the siege towers here. Contarius will be able to tear through those. We've also got the Son of Osiris here, which you're not going to be able to pick off because you need like a ball of Arcus in order to do any damage to him, or cavalry in order to get onto him to attack him while he's retreating. Seeing the Lampade is doing work though, trying to convert these war elephants. So he is able to change the way these war elephants are attacking it, but it's not going to be all that good for him because this war elephant's just still attacking the red army here of Moor. Moor having a little bit of a raid up here with the Sky Passage, which that's going to get picked off by villagers. We're seeing some medium Murmillo here already in order to try and pick off these guys here, but it looks like the Sky Passage is going to go down. Villagers do have a bonus against towers, and I think Sky Passages are considered towers. I don't know though. I don't know where our Sky Passage is. I can't find it. Anyways, nice little pickoffs with this Lampade. He's done absolute work, but the Siege Tower is going to be taking down this manor and pushing forward even faster. And Moor's actually just struggling now to stay afloat here. Not sure exactly why that is. His economy hasn't been disrupted that much. He just doesn't have that many economic upgrades. And what's this? He's only got plow, doesn't have irrigation, and doesn't have flood control either. So his food income is very, very low. And the majority of his army, apart from the Arcus here, everything except for the Arcus here is costing him food to spend. And these fanatics are very expensive at 75 food, as well as all that other stuff. Destroyers 70 food, and it's just like very difficult for Moor to hold on here. Moor should grab these villagers off the farm zone and start picking off these siege towers. Well, this fortified town center is going to go down very, very fast. Not noticing Moor putting up that much of a resistance here elsewhere. Does use that shockwave. Now he's got the Arcus focusing down the Son of Osiris. Town center is going down though, as it does drop. And a little bit of micro here, but those Arcus are going to be trying to pick the Son of Osiris off. And if he can't pick it off, it's going to be too hard for him. After losing the town center, Moor does tap out. GG, well played there by Joe. Taking this game very, very nicely there. Nice, slow, methodical play. I would have liked him to throw up some more military buildings a little bit earlier, but I'm assuming that he chose to go with this many military buildings simply because he wanted to conserve those resources to get to the next age. So if you underproduce units, then you get to the next age a little bit faster. And maybe he values that rather than getting to full pop faster. But yeah, taking this game fairly nicely. I do think that Moor, had he instead of going for Arcus, had gone for Contarius, as well as maybe destroyers or something like that, and just had maybe 4 villagers on wood and then like added an extra 4 villagers to food. And not worried so much about building the palaces. He probably could have defended against this army a little bit better, because you force your opponent to go and invest into medium axemen, heavy axemen. I don't really want to switch over to the spearman. And then when he switches over to the spearman, you can start adapting to that way. But just allowing him to do what he wants is always just going to be too difficult, and you're not going to be able to hang on there. And that does result in more losing this game. So well played there by Joe. If you enjoyed this game, please rate, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell if you like my videos and want to see them as soon as they come out. My name is Boit, and I will see you guys next time.